My video got cut off. I am starting again on page 18, which is where I left off. The why teach question and the decision about whether teaching is the right career for you is intensely personal, although what you think about teaching and whether it is a good fit for you is of primary importance. It may be useful to know what others think about teachers too. Here, we'll consider the views of the general public, students, and administrators, and what teachers who are new to the field have to say about their work. The education of America's children regularly tops the list of the public's social concerns, particularly now. In the second decade of the 21st century, our educational system is receiving major attention from school critics and politicians. Americans are relying on their teachers to instruct, guide, inspire, motivate, and occasionally prod their children to learn more than ever before. The public, that is, the people whose taxes pay the salaries of public school teachers, overwhelmingly acknowledges and support the nation's teachers. When asked to select which group provided the most benefit to society, 62% selected teachers, whereas only 17% selected physicians. Only 5% chose people in business, 3% chose lawyers, and only 1% chose journalists and politicians. When asked to rate which factors have had the greatest impact on student learning, 44% selected the qualifications of a teacher over other factors such as class size, socioeconomic status of the family, or the family's involvement and support. Finally, the public has a great deal of trust in teachers. According to the National Credibility Index, when asked which people were the most believable when speaking out on public issues, teachers were rated the highest, above members of the armed forces, national experts, and community activists. The old ditty sung by generations of students, "No more pencils, no more books, no more teachers' dirty looks," may be giving way to a new appreciation, as shown in Figure 1.2 in a 2010 survey of students ages 12 to 17. High school students often thought to be somewhat cool towards their teachers, view them as the top contributors to society, being well ahead of the next two contributors, doctors and scientists. Although many students fail to show it in their daily dealings with their teachers, their survey shows the deep well springs of their appreciation for the work of teachers. The high regard the public and students have for teachers is encouraging. But what about new teachers, those who have recently entered the field? What do the administrators who work with new teachers and supervise them on a daily basis say about them? The opinions of principals and superintendents support those of the general public. A stunning 98% of superintendents and principals surveyed agreed with the descriptions of their new teachers as motivated and energetic. Rumors that the quality of new teachers has deteriorated are hardly borne out by those who do the hiring. A majority of these frontline administrators believe that the quality of those entering the profession has improved. Only 9% of these educators believe it is declining. We suspect that there are few professions or occupations where supervisors have such high regard for newcomers. An in-depth study conducted at the beginning of the 21st century with 664 public school teachers and 250 private teachers who had all taught for 5 or fewer years paints a picture of how today's newest teachers feel about their work. The researchers aptly titled their report "A Sense of Calling: Who Teaches and Why," and they conclude that most new teachers are highly motivated professionals who bring a strong sense of commitment and high morale to their work. New teachers see themselves as talented and dedicated professionals, reflecting the title of their report. 86% of new teachers affirmed the notion that only those with a true sense of calling should teach. 9 out of 10 claimed that the teaching profession demands a high level of emergency and effort, a high level of energy and effort, requiring more talent and hard work than many other professions. The teacher in this study continually commented on the need for enthusiasm to do the job well, and overwhelmingly 98% described other new teachers with whom they work as sharing in their sense of commitment and enthusiasm. This is hardly the portrait of a disappointed and disgruntled group of newcomers. Let's get back to the question, why teach? By considering those already in the field. First, are teachers personally satisfied with their career choice? And second, why do they teach? The answer to the satisfaction question revealed what, up until recently, has been a dramatic and encouraging increase in teacher satisfaction in the last half century, going from a low in 1986 of 33% reporting being very satisfied to the most recent figure of 59% in 2009. However, the most recent version of this survey shows that teacher satisfaction has dropped precipitously in the last few years, from a high of 62% reporting very satisfied in 2008 to 39% in 2012. We need to consider, however, that this surprising 23 percentage point drop occurred during the difficult years of the recent economic recession, a period that put particular stress on teachers' salaries and school budgets. Next, why teachers teach. Attitudes about teaching. A 2003 study reveals some answers that are surprisingly consistent with the results reported in A Sense of Calling. As shown in Table 1.3, nearly all of these new teachers reported that teaching is the work they love to do. 4 out of 5 claimed that they would choose teaching again if starting over. 3 out of 4 insisted that teaching is a lifelong choice, and 2 out of 3 reported that they get a great deal of satisfaction out of teaching. Contrary to the rumor that many people simply drift into teaching, a mere 12% said that they fell into teaching by chance. All but a handful had very altruistic attitudes about their work, telling the researchers that teaching offers them an opportunity for contributing to society. For some teachers, teaching is clearly a short-term career. 1 of 5 respondents in the A Sense of Calling survey indicated that they would probably change careers at some point, although this figure contrasts sharply with the 50% of young college graduates in other fields who say that they expect to change careers at least once. The reference to teaching as a short-term career brings up an important point. The desire to teach for a few years and then to move on to another career or to raise a family is both common and to be respected. Also, our schools are filled with people who dropped in on teaching and stayed to make it their professional home. Judging from this study, new teachers show a remarkable certainty that they made the right choice in pursuing a teaching career. It also appears that most of today's new teachers have taken the time to reflect on whether teaching is the right career choice for them. In A Sense of Calling, the researchers asked new teachers, is teaching satisfying? They also asked the study participants specifically how important it was that their work had certain characteristics. Table 1.4 summarizes the new teachers' responses. An impressive 96% reported that they are involved in the work they love, and 97% were convinced they were doing important work for the good of society. 84% had the peace of mind that comes with knowing one's job is secure. Although not surprising, only 31% claimed that teaching pays well. Clearly, today's new teachers, although not painting a perfect picture, are personally happy in their work. Teachers' widespread satisfaction and love for their work is largely unknown, even among teachers. This good news has been lost in the headlines, focusing on students' cyberbullying, low test scores, and other educational problems. The reality is that most teachers love the job of teaching. Consider the following. 79% of teachers agree strongly with the following statement: I am passionate about teaching. 74% of teachers say that teaching is a lifelong career choice. 91% of new teachers believe that teaching matches their skills and interests well. It is certainly encouraging news that others apparently are happy and satisfied as teachers. Nevertheless, it is your life and your choice to enter the teaching field. Clearly, selecting a career is a personal decision and involves answering many questions. Will I be happy? Will this career provide me with a satisfying lifestyle? Will I be up to the challenge? And will I find the work satisfying? Will I grow in the experience? People who are considering teaching as a life's work should grapple with these questions, which relate to the motives for their choice. They must also scrutinize other deeper motives. Teaching, like nursing, the ministry, and social work, is a surface occupation. More correctly, teaching is a vocation. Built into teaching is the idea of contributing to the lives of others. For many people, the root of their decision to teach is deeper than a love of subject matter or an attraction to the life of a teacher. Many men and women select teaching for reasons that are, at heart, religious or humanitarian. They see themselves as called to the work. End of chapter 1.